You should not quit. The reason I say this is because so many people want to start something and are not informed of how much effort it takes, how much frustration it is, how long a process can fully take. All those kinds of things kind of rolled into one. So when you're starting something, things can change really quickly. So anyway, for those of you who don't know me, my name's Stefan. I run chaoscard.com, where we sell Japanese booster boxes, Pokemon booster boxes, that is. And I wanted to share this video because I'm kind of in a stage to where I'm pursuing something. I'm starting a Pokemon Japanese card selling business. And the stages that I've gone through so far, it's been kind of challenging. It's been frustrating. The market's been changing. So I wanted to share this video. If you're starting any kind of business at all, whether it be Pokemon or roofing or like tech, anything like that, I feel like these stages that I'm about to explain are something you have to go through to get to where you want to go. And I'm coming from a position to where I've never really built something significant, but I wanted to share the stuff that I've kind of learned about this process to hopefully help someone in the future. So I read a book recently. It's called The Dream Giver. And for those of you who haven't read the book is basically about a character called Ordinary, where he leaves the land of familiar. He's pursuing his quote unquote big dream. And it's kind of got like a religious aspect to it too. So if you're not a religious person, just disregard it and just look at it from like face value of what it actually is. But this guy, Ordinary, he gets this big dream from the Dream Giver, which you can see like it's the universe, God, whatever you think it is, right? And he wants to pursue it. And so when he finds this feather that's supposed to be a sign from the Dream Giver that you've been given a big dream, he tries to pursue it. And the first thing that he does, he tells his family, he tells his friends, and they are very skeptical. And they're like, hey, don't do this. Doesn't seem weird. Just live in your current situation. Just watch the box. I think they call it the box in the book, but they're referring to the TV. Just be comfortable. Be sitting in your lazy boy recliner and just chill, because it's a lot better there. But he has this aspiration. He wants to go pursue his big dream. So when he goes to the next step, he leaves the land of familiar, and he comes into encounter of all these different challenges. The first one is where he gets to the borderlands. I think that's what it's called in the book. And that's like the first step, taking it towards your big dream, to where you start to feel kind of anxiety. You start to feel uncomfortable, that kind of thing. And so he takes that first step, and then he feels free, right? But anyway, the book's great. I think you should read it. It really gives you a good perspective on the kind of stages that it would take to pursue anything of significance. So for me, this Pokemon business, I liked Pokemon when I was a kid. It kind of became like a little bit taboo when I was a teenager in my 20s and stuff like that. But now that's a popular thing. I wanted to get back into it. So I've been on this journey for about a couple years now. So and I was really, really into consuming content like entrepreneurs, that kind of thing. And I think when people label themselves as an entrepreneur, I think it's kind of like, not a cop out, but it's kind of like you're seen as like some sort of status, right? Being an entrepreneur is some sort of like status that you achieve, right? But people really want to be like, they're more wantrepreneurs than entrepreneurs, I think. And maybe you can put me in that category. I don't know. I'm still pursuing what I want to pursue. So, and it's going to be a long journey, but I wanted to share the steps of an entrepreneur. And I think they'd be very beneficial to anyone that's pursuing anything, because it's really going to take a lot of work that you don't foresee when you first start out. But the first step is uninformed optimism. And this step is like, you see a friend or whatever, like they're pursuing something, they start making money, they're doing great things, and they're like, yeah, I want to do something like that. So you start pursuing something, right? That's the first step. You're excited, you want to get going, all that kind of stuff. And then the next step is where you hit a roadblock. And this step is informed pessimism. Informed pessimism. And this is like, oh my gosh, this is going to take some work. I don't know if I'm cut out for this. And so if you decide to pursue past that point, you're going to go into a couple other stages, one of them being the crisis of meaning, where you're doing all these things. And I think in the book, The Dream Giver, they call this the wasteland. So you're doing all these things. So like for me, I bought a bunch of product. I'm selling boxes here and there. I'm making YouTube videos for content, that kind of thing. And it just seems like a lot of work. I've had some thoughts of like, maybe this is not a good time to pursue. Maybe this is like, because the Japanese market is kind of up and down. So I'm kind of negative on some boxes I've bought. So I'm like, gosh, is this worth it? Should I just hold off for a little while? And I don't think that's going to be a good thing long term. From some people that I've come in contact with that are pursuing something great, they're kind of saying just keep going. Whether you're doing a ton of stuff or something small every single day, just keep going, keep doing what you're doing. It will eventually turn out. You'll be so happy and glad that you actually put in the effort that it would take to make something significant, right? And then the next one is crash or survive. This is where like you actually make the choice. It's like, this is something I'm going to pursue regardless of what happens. I'm going to find a way to make this happen regardless. And then the next one is informed optimism. You're doing things, you're having some results, and you start to make things happen. You start, like for me, I start selling boxes. I have a good track record on YouTube. People are saying, good job, keep going. I appreciate the content. That kind of thing is really meaningful to me, and I'm sure it would be meaningful to anybody that's really pursuing something. And then the last step is growth. And this is like, you figured out a system, you're making it happen, you know the steps that it takes, you've kind of gone through the wasteland of understanding of whether or not this is going to be something I want to do long term. And you start growing, you start selling, you got all those kinds of things. And I watched a Poke video just today about, he called it a business rant. But he's talking about, if you were pursuing anything and something came up to where it would stop you in your tracks, maybe you're not cut out to start a business or to do something great. So he gave an example of like, hey, if you're concerned about starting a website and you're concerned about the $30 a month it takes to run that website, you're probably not in a good situation to start that website. But if you're on the other side of like, hey, $30 isn't that much, I can make that happen, I'm going to do things with that, I think you're really cut out to do anything of significance. So right now, kind of the wasteland for me. I'm making content, I'm selling boxes here and there, so things are going fairly decent. I just got to keep doing it long enough to actually see results. But anyway, what about you guys? Are you pursuing something great? Are you in sales? What are you doing like long term? I'd love to hear about it. Drop a comment down below, and I'd love to respond and talk about it a little bit. But anyway, hope you guys are doing well, and we'll talk to you later.